Collin, and this is my show. Welcome back to Out of My Head on YouTube. I'm Collin, the best part of this channel, and first things first, Camo wants me to act intelligent, so I'm going to drink some coffee, so I'm not asleep this time. If I could open a can, would help too. And he is brain broken because he's an old man and he was having some issues learning iOS. Hey, you want to wake up at some point? His brain's broken. I'm jealous.
Back. There's no back button, goddammit.
There's no back button. Have we tried swiping? We tried swiping?
Oh, I do all kinds of random gestures, and sometimes something happens, and sometimes it's what I want to happen, and sometimes not.
5-finger swipe, 3-finger swipe?
I just paw at the thing and do all kinds of stuff, and, you know, something happens. It hurts.
I agree.
So, you are young. You could easily switch from Mac to Windows to Linux. Are you a Linux guy?
I've used plenty of Linux.
Yeah?
Back in the day, being 17 years old, coding in terminal. Not actual coding, but copying and pasting into terminal to make a thing without a GUI work. Good old days.
Yeah. When I worked at Amazon, it was in a Unix environment, so I'm all about the command line. Used to be anyway.
It's a lot more efficient because then you only get this, like, oh, what does this button do? It's like, no. Words that mean things, and that's it.
So, Final Cut or Premiere?
DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, DaVinci Resolve. Okay.
Definitely not Premiere Pro. That sucks.
That's what
and costs money. Like, okay, hold on, wait, I have a story to tell. Not on topic, but this is a good one.
There's no topic.
I had Premiere Pro on my laptop. And then I downloaded DaVinci Resolve, and I liked it better. So then I unsubscribed from Adobe, because, you know, it was like $22 a month after tax to have Premiere Pro on my laptop. Oh, you use Photoshop and stuff too. I had just Premiere Pro.
Audition.
Oh, he's old.
Anyway.
So
you were trying to tell a story, and I'm interrupting.
Yeah, he's very friendly. So then I unsubscribed, and they sent me an email. Oh, we'll give you a deal. You've been with us for a year now. And I said no. And they're like, you want to tell us why? So then I wrote in, there's a checkbox of things. I clicked other, so I could type in, DaVinci Resolve is better and free.
The question is, since I'm paying Adobe the full price for the suite anyway, would there be any advantage to me climbing that hill and learning how to use DaVinci Resolve?
For the stuff you do, probably not.
Okay.
There's a learning curve. Learning curve to that one, not beginner friendly.
You have intuited my intentions correctly, young Padawan. I was looking for some justification for not learning something new, and you've provided it. Thank you.
That's my expertise, actually.
Justification for not doing stuff?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm supposed to come up with a topic, right?
If you want me to come up with a topic, it's going to be politics 100% of the time.
Oh. What's on your mind?
Senate Intel Committee, I believe, don't quote me on that one, came out with findings on the Trump-Russia thing, said they found, them specifically, not everyone, found no direct evidence of collusion with Russia, but none of the news really cared.
That's just the Senate Intelligence Committee. What about the Mueller probe?
I'm looking forward to what he has to say, too.
Eventually.
It's coming soon.
I don't know.
It's like 2 years. It's not like if you find something after 10 years and he's no longer president and dead, who cares?
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great to have that investigation ongoing in the next election cycle?
I'm sure some people would enjoy it. Although, really questions who. Because Donald Trump would get to push the whole witch hunt thing. He'd get to be, this has been going on for 3 years and they haven't found anything. It's a witch hunt, which kind of, it works. It definitely drove up his base. I'm sure the independents are sick of hearing it. Might swing them to...
Are you an independent?
No.
What are you?
I'm conservative, libertarian. Probably vote red on most things.
So when you say libertarian, do you actually vote for libertarian candidates or do you vote Republican?
My ideology is libertarian, but the libertarians that run for the Libertarian Party I don't tend to agree with.
How many times have you voted?
Only once.
You know, around here we get to vote all the time. There's all kinds of elections.
I don't like any of the local people, so I refuse to vote for them in the local elections.
Seems like I vote like multiple times a year here in Vermont.
I only care about national and state elections.
Gotcha.
Because the local ones, who cares? If they start making me mad, I'll just leave.
So, Elizabeth Warren or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump 100%.
Tulsi Gabbard or Donald Trump?
I don't know Tulsi Gabbard.
Who else is running? There's a bunch of them.
Cory Booker? No.
Kamala Harris?
No.
Trump over any of those?
Trump over most Democrats.
Okay.
There's a few.
How about Bernie Sanders?
No socialists, please.
You're not a Bernie bro?
I just said I'm a libertarian, which is kind of like the opposite of a socialist, if you ask me.
Yeah, but what is it? A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. I like to swing back and forth between the extremes.
Yeah, I like to try to find a middle ground most of the time. So, like, I want as little government intervention as possible, so I'm not going to randomly vote for someone who wants government in my healthcare. Canada, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on that.
You say that a lot. You should have that on speed dial.
Well, that's a good idea for anything you hear on the internet. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% positive. You should probably double check that one.
You should probably double check this information is always good advice. Yes.
Especially with the news nowadays. I was just thinking about this morning. The news, it's all like, I read something on the news. I read Senate Intel Committee said this. I did not go to a .gov site to double check this. Probably should have.
Yeah, I mean...
I saw it from enough news sources where I'm like, yeah, that's probably 99% likely true. But I didn't double check it.
You know, proper due diligence, you could spend all day just double checking the things that you heard and which sound right and which, you know, probably flatter your worldview in some reason and you're predisposed to accept. Every time that happens, you know, it would be good to train yourself to notice that and then be really quick and efficient about finding some official source for it. But, you know, you could spend all day doing that.
Most of the things I read, whether I like them or not, I'm like, yeah, that probably happened.
I try to remain alert to the possibility that I can be duped by something which flatters my worldview. It flatters my identity as somebody who believes some things and doesn't believe other things. And if you phrase it just right, I'll be like, yeah, that sounds right. Don't need to check that out.
Luckily for me, the echo chamber I live in tends to be the alternate to what I believe. So I tend to be gaslighted in the reverse direction with what I see on Facebook every day. Very liberal state. All my friends are liberals, which are liberal news articles. So everything I read, just scroll by on Facebook, read real quick, don't put any thought into. That's slowly gaslighting my brain. Is the opposite of what I traditionally believe. So then I have the other arguments in my head without even trying.
So your peer group, are they mostly lefty?
Yes.
How lefty?
Very. It's Vermont, one of the most liberal states in the nation, if not the most.
Yeah, but don't young people rebel against the status quo?
They haven't caught on that the status quo is lefty yet.
I see.
The punks are like, it's pretty hilarious because punks used to be, F the system, I'm going to say what I want, do what I want. And now they're like, oh, you can't call someone a mean name. We have to accept everyone in our community. It's like, no, I don't want to accept everyone. Like, I want to be a punk, but like the 80s punk where I do what I want. And so like, I just want to be part of this don't tell me what to do movement that is... It became the culture for a while, but now we're going back to the other direction where we're going authoritarian, and so the counterculture needs to be punk, but the people still think being liberal and supporting gay rights is counterculture, and it's like, no. At least not around here. I don't know about the rest of America and the rest of the world, that's for sure.
How much of the rest of America have you seen?
Not a lot.
Have you been to the West Coast?
No. The farthest I've been from Vermont is Pennsylvania, and that was one time.
How about New York City?
Never in the city. I don't get out a lot.
Well, there's time.
Do you want to go on adventures on the weekends, KMO?
Got to draw my comic on the weekends.
Well, tell you what, you can draw in the hotel room while we're on adventures. I got money, I'll pay for gas. Let's go.
Well, rather than spending your money, let's line up a sponsor of some kind and do it on somebody else's dime.
What's the point of working if I don't get to spend my money to have fun?
All right. Next week, we're going to New York City. Probably not.
Adventures with Collin. That's a good idea for a
Adventures
show.
with Collin would certainly be a good
Taking a small town
playlist.
young millennial boy out to places where the world is completely different from what he knows. Wait, I would actually watch that. That sounds interesting.
That does sound interesting.
Comment below. What do you
Comment
think?
below.
Where should I go?
That there's an iPad waiting for me at home.
Yeah. Old people have problems with new technology. Unfortunately, with the rate technology is accelerating these days, I feel like I'm old because I don't even have to press buttons anymore. When I grew up, you want something to do something, you'd press a button, and then it would work. And now it's like touch screens, or you look at the thing you want to do. I've seen that one. KMO's pretty technologically savvy, but he's having some problems with iOS. If you watched his last video from a couple days ago, I don't know when this one's going up. So he's crying about that. He wants a young person to help him. I'm not volunteering.